Welcome, family, to our September 19th evening prayer vigil. We'll begin tonight's program with a beautiful musical offering, followed by Kyungbae and family pledge number 8. Reverend Josh.
Sure by now, God, you would have reached down and wiped our tears away, stepped in and saved the day. But once again, I say amen, and it's still raining. But as the thunder rolls, I barely hear you whisper through the rain. I'm with you, and as your mercy falls, I'll raise my hands and praise the God who gives and takes away. And I'll praise you in this storm, and I will lift my hands, for you are who you are, no matter where I am, and every tear I've cried, you hold in your hand. You never left my side, and though my heart is torn, I will praise you in this storm. I remember when I stumbled in the wind, you heard my cry to you and raised me up again. But my strength is almost gone. How can I carry on if I can't find you? But as the thunder rolls, I barely hear you whisper through the rain. I'm with you, and as your mercy falls, I'll raise my hands and praise the God who gives and takes away. And I'll praise you in this storm, and I will lift my hands, for you are who you are, no matter where I am, and every tear I've cried, you hold in your hand. You never left my side, and though my heart is torn, I will praise you in this storm. I lift my eyes into the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. I lift my eyes into the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and And I'll praise you in this storm,
Thank you, Reverend Josh. Now, family, let's greet our Heavenly Parent and true parents. Chanjian, Janghumanimge, Kyungbae. Paro. And now we'll read Family Pledge number 8 in English. Our family, the owner of Chanel Good, pledges, having entered the era of Chanel Good, to achieve the ideal of God and human beings united in love through absolute faith, absolute love, and absolute obedience, and to perfect the realm of liberation and complete freedom in the kingdom of God on earth and in heaven by centering on true love. Ajahn. Pastor Milhan, could you please offer our opening prayer tonight?
Great. Heavenly Parents, as always, we thank you for gathering us here tonight as our Manhattan Family Church community. How grateful we are for you and for our true parents who've never given up on us all these years. And we look at the 6,000 years of biblical history all the way until today. And we want to stand proud to represent all those who came before us, all those who gave up their lives in the wars and all of those who were born and died and didn't get to see the true parents with their own eyes. And yet we're the ones that had this great privilege. So, Heavenly Parent, I pray that tonight we can honor one of our members, Uncle Robert Hall. Someone has given his entire life to you and to our true parents. I pray that we will do well to remember him and to learn so much from his life and to be inspired for how he will continue to help us out even while he's in heaven. So we're praying, of course, for his safe transition and that he can be filled with so much love and support from all of us that he'll have no trouble navigating the spirit world to his destination. So we thank you and report all this in my name, Milhan Stevens, a blessed family. Jew.
Jew. Thank you, Pastor Milhan. All right, everyone, let's welcome our Pastor Milhan Stevens.
Thank you. And Kathleen, thank you all. Hey, good evening. This is our evening prayer vigil dedicated to Uncle Robert, who is transitioning. I'm sure he should be close to being where he needs to be. I don't know how long that spiritual birth canal is, but it's not a momentary thing. I'm sure he had to, when you're a newborn, your eyeballs are still like not sure how to focus and do a lot of things. So I'm sure he's getting used to his spirit body. Moving along the highways and byways of love up there. And so we want to give him a lot of rocket fuel. Quick update. I did talk to Aunt Amanda today. I'm sure you've seen emails and messages from me. So we do have more information. The Songhua will be on Wednesday next week, viewing at 10 a.m. and the Songhua at 11. It's in Jamaica, Queens. So at that funeral home, the Lane, Mr. Lane, got his first name. But it's at that funeral home, and the cemetery is in Farmingdale. So I don't know how many of us can attend on a Wednesday morning like that. So we will have a special service that Sunday. I guess this is next Sunday, where people will have an opportunity to share a testimony and a word about him. Aunt Amanda, she seems okay, but she did tell me it was really hard for them. They were not expecting it. And so definitely keep the whole family in prayers, Chris as well. It's very hard for him. So we want to show them our love and support as best we can. I've decided to be the coordinator for this. Just, typically a family member would help, but I decided I can go ahead and just run this one. So I think as Kathleen was asking, if anyone would like to, or Mariko-san was asking, would like to would like to offer something, a musical offering, let us know and we can definitely consider you. And otherwise, we'll probably reach out to one of you to volunteer. Or whoever can make it would be good for us to know, so we can consider you for one of the roles. I believe Chris will be reading the biography, so that leaves a lot of other roles: the opening prayer, the testimony. I think he has relatives that could give testimonies, but it's still good to have some more. And but yeah, the funeral director is very kind, and I think he's obviously he's very experienced with this. We will have a Zoom broadcast. We'll use this same Zoom link so everyone's familiar with it. And yeah, I think it will go well.
Thank you for all the wonderful pictures that everybody sent today.
Thought we might go through those even. If there's a lull in the testimonies tonight, we can pull those up. But at this time, oh, hello. Aunt Amanda is here now. So, Aunt Amanda, I just share with everyone, the basic info, the date, the place, the time, and we had a nice conversation this morning with Mr. Lane. And if there's anything you'd like to say, you're more than welcome to. If you can unmute, if you are saying something. There we go.
Yeah, I don't know what you're saying, but you're still working out things, to get it smooth and everything, and we have to prepare I have to go tomorrow to see what goes on in the church and how we can arrange things and that sort of thing. So as we go on, I will let people know what is happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Of course. Okay. With that, if there are any testimonies tonight, please just raise your hand or unmute. And we'll fill the space with Uncle Robert's spirit, and his love, his music, his grace, his radiance.
Well, I can share a short little thing. In 1986, I joined the news world. I was working at the New York City Tribune as an editorial assistant. And that's where I met Robert for the first time. Robert was working in the human resources department, but at that time they called it personnel. And it was just him and one other sister, Kathy Vornbrock. And, Robert, there were a lot of employees because we had the New York City Tribune plus Noticias del Mundo and one personnel department. And Robert had a lot of paperwork. Robert worked very hard. He was a really good employee. And one thing I noticed about him, he had the most beautiful handwriting I ever saw. But he was always so kind, such a good brother. If you ever had any questions about anything, he was always there to answer your questions. But then in 1990, the New York City Tribune closed, unfortunately. And then Robert got laid off because they only had Noticias, and there wasn't, it wasn't enough to keep two people in the personnel department. So he started working in the New Yorker Hotel in the mailroom. And I was living there at that time, and I had my own little mailbox. And Robert was always, he was there to give everybody their mail and their packages. And again, there he was working so hard, but he always had such a good attitude. He was always so friendly, no matter what, no matter how much hard work he had to do. He was always just so friendly and so, willing to help whenever you needed. And then, after a while, he got laid off from that job, and he started working for the New Yorker with the keys, with the locks and the keys. He's responsible for, and that was a big job too in itself, because you can imagine how many rooms in the New Yorker, how many keys, But I just wanted to share, how I first met Robert. Oh, and he did tell me, when we were working at News World, that he had been a nurse in Guyana, which I thought was pretty cool, a male nurse. My own experience of being in hospitals, the male nurses I felt were always the best, so I'm sure he was a very, very good nurse. So I just wanted to share how I met Robert. So thank you.
If I could say something,
Please.
back home, we had male nurses and nurses like G. Male nurses looked after the men, basically, right, Jean? And the females were looked after by the female nurses. And you even had special wards for men and that sort of thing. And there was a time when nurses there were people from England living in Guyana. And I remember one time Robert had to take a male patient up to England, back to his home and that sort of thing. It was a different thing from what nursing was in America. And so when he came here, he decided that he didn't want to do nursing here because it was so different from what he knew about nursing in Guyana. So he kept away from it.
Yeah, I hear male nurses take care of women, take care of everybody. But like I said, the male nurses in my experience, all the different times I've been in the hospital, which have been many, the male nurses were the best. They really were the best. So I can imagine, Robert was great.
Can I share something, Reverend Stevens?
Thank you, Kathleen. Yes, Mama Jean, please.
Yeah, Robert was a male nurse, and Robert was a hard-working male nurse in the hospital. And all the nurses knew him and loved him because he worked very, very hard. And I wanted to share something too. 1970, when I started to work at the hospital, I read in the newspaper about a blessing, 777 couples. And I said, this clergyman, this pastor, this reverend married his whole church, and the thoughts just went away. But then 3 years later, God sent Robert to tell me about the Unification Church. And then I pondered about it years afterwards. And then I realized that Robert had joined the Unification Church shortly after that, maybe 777 couples. And then I pondered and I said, God used Robert to let me know that the Unification Church is the church that I read about the blessing, 777 couples in 1970. And then I said, God sent Robert to be my spiritual father so I would connect to the Unification Church. Robert invited me to the church and I went there. And one day, as I was leaving the beauty parlor, I had my hair done, and a cloud came up in the sky, and a man with a staff in his hand appeared. And I looked at this wonder because it was about high noon, 12 noon. And I said, this man with his staff in his hand. And I went back to the church center and I shared it with everybody. I told the leader, Barbara, and everything. And she told me, who do you think it was? And I said, well, it got to be Abraham or it got to be Moses. And she turned to me and said, yes, Moses was behind her when she joined the Unification Church. And then I realized how spiritual Robert was and how God was trying to show me to join, because you see, in those days, you had to move in. And I was working at the hospital and I had my own, well, you could call it room apartment with some people. And I would visit the center, spend some time, 40 days or so, and go back home. And then even though Robert and Barbara were saying, Jean, you should move in, you should move in. And I kept pondering about it. I kept thinking about it. And one day we had a holiday and Barbara was teaching a marathon series of the divine principle. And as she was teaching us on the board, a little man, a short man appeared, and he had like a goat beard, and he was very old. And then that beard faded, and it was like the moonlight. After Barbara finished teaching, I told her, and she said, who do you think it was? And I said, well, I don't know, but he was a little man, a short man, and he was as bright as the moon. And she turned to me and said, yes, Saint Paul listens to her as she teaches the divine principle. And I pondered, I said, oh my goodness, Barbara and Robert trying to get me to move in and live in this church. And God showed me Moses with a staff in his hand. Now God showed me Saint Paul. I have to move in, I have to live in. And I pondered about it. I thought about it. I said, Robert is so spiritual and the leader is so spiritual. I said, oh my goodness, God is trying to show me something. And then I realized that not many people who joined the Unification Church have seen Moses. Not many people have seen Moses. And not many people have seen St. Paul. And I was blessed through Robert's spirituality, his teaching of the divine principles, lecturing, through Barbara, lecturing. And I was blessed to see both Moses and St. Paul. That's all I wanted to share at Jubilee.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
So Uncle Robert opened that way for you. He opened the way.
Yes.
Yeah, he sees Abraham. So he's several generations before Moses. He's a different level. I know he always calls himself, just call me Father Abraham, and I just went along with it. And I didn't know he was that spiritual though.
Yes. Robert is very spiritual. Robert was very, very spiritual. Yes. And I became spiritual by seeing Moses and St. Paul. And I was so blessed. I'm so grateful to God for showing me Moses and St. Paul.
Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't know St. Paul was short.
Yes, he's a very short man, St. Paul. Yes.
If I'm being honest, it sounded like you were describing a leprechaun, and but
maybe he wasn't so short.
I'm glad you
was
identified
small
him.
enough. And he listened to Barbara was teaching chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, you know, the marathon of the divine principle. And he was there standing up by the blackboard, listening to her as the brothers and sisters were in the chairs. He stood up by the blackboard, listening to her. And that's how she told me that he always listens to her teaching. Because Reverend Milan, you see, in those days, not many people knew how to teach the principle. Everybody was just learning divine principle. So they didn't have many teachers then. But as the years grew on, brothers and sisters learned to teach divine principle from attending 21-day workshop, from attending 40 days workshop, and so forth. But in those days, 1973, not many teachers of the principle was out there.
I mean, I'm so grateful for what I've been able to inherit. Yeah.
Well, thank you for mentioning about Robert being so spiritual. You know, I didn't realize that about him, but I told you before how he always insisted that I have Irish ancestors. You know?
Did say that, so that's
many times he's told me that over the years. And you know, my mother has 7 children, right? She named all 7 of her children Irish names and middle names. You know, go figure. She liked Irish. But Robert said, I know you have Irish ancestors. I know it. So, you know, now that you're talking about him being spiritual.
What's your ancestry, Kathleen? What's your ancestry?
Well, my mother is Dutch, Hungarian, and Native American.
Oh. And
my father is Polish and English.
I see.
That we know of, because that we know of. Because he was adopted, so we don't know everything. But...
Okay.
But we know the story about St. Patrick, right? How he was actually British, but he was kidnapped by Irish pirates.
It's a great story.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna pull up some of these pictures because
good.
Might bring them back some fond memories. I mean, we all have access to it. They're on the family care.
That's a good point, Pastor Milan. In order to be on Messenger chat, you have to have a Facebook page.
I'll just start from the bottom because it's a little bit easier.
Okay.
There are videos, so I'm gonna just share my sound. Is Maricos on here?
No, just not today.
No,
I don't see her here.
Huh?
Oh, Mariko, you're here.
Oh, you are here?
Yeah. I just want to add one word. Robert very spiritual, and he met Madame Mary also, but he said because he can see too much, that's why he tried to close his spiritual eye usually.
Mm-hmm. Right, these are Keisetsu's pictures. You can see him working hard all the time.
Yeah.
As everyone's saying, if he didn't work hard, he wouldn't be alive. And I mean, every time I see him on Sunday, I don't know how difficult it is during the week, but he puts all of his strength to be there on Sunday. all of his soul. It's really a gift.
You love to dance.
Don't stop dancing. Don't you dare stop dancing. I spy Uncle Robert, right?
There he is, right there.
If anyone wants to share a testimony, if you please just start talking.
These scarves Robert bought for all of us.
Oh yeah. Very nice. This was an older one.
Well, is that Yachin?
Yeah, that's the Asian.
Oh, yeah.
Is this the Palm Sunday one? See the palms there. Thank you, Reverend Joshua Holmes.
Yeah.
Always looking good.
True.
Yeah, what an amazing face cut.
Oh.
Grandpa. Mm.
This year the birthday.
Look at that crown. The crown of glory, that is. Crown of glory. There you go. That's the other crown of glory right there. Yeah, that was nice. Gangster.
Yeah.
Yeah, those crazy hats. That was the crazy hats New Year's.
That's a great picture. I love it.
I don't know if Aunt Amanda, if there's a particular photo that you're looking for, like for the one that's going to be framed.
Well, Mr. Mr. Paul, I think you should show him and he will select what he thinks is suitable for the what he wants to do. He has to do some printing and all that sort of thing. So if you can get some time to show him, and he will select what he thinks is suitable. I'll call him tomorrow and let him know to contact you.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay. Meanwhile, we'll keep looking for a nice portrait. $2019 here. Oh, and Amanda's in this one too. Wow. Very nice. Cousin?
That's his sister.
Oh, sister. Okay. Oh yeah, I see. I can see. We can just keep going back. Oh yeah, the best. Yeah. 2017.
Yes, that's some Guyanese sisters too. And
Yeah, Kanisha's in her mouth. Come on, Jen. Hi.
Jean, you see Rachel?
Yes, Rachel and Kenisha Amanda saw them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, 2016. And Amanda, so these are who are these people?
That was I can't even see properly. That was a Sound of Music.
No, was it? Didn't he sing at the Boricua College?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, he was in a pastor. He was in a choir at Boricua College.
Yes.
More like a more professional choir. And
Yes.
Marina was.
Yes. He was also at one time the conductor of the choir.
I know they had asked him to join professionally, right? But he.
Yes, he was there for a long time, several years. Chris and I used to go to all the concerts and so on. They used to be touring and so on.
Yeah, I went to one of those concerts. Yeah.
He used to keep it in a church in Harlem and that sort of thing. I think this is one of the older pictures.
Oh, Camp Sunrise. Wow. October. Curious. You know, this is his Facebook page, and so many pictures are at church.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So many.
everybody looks so beautiful.
Yeah.
Right. This is the social hall. Look at that floor. That's back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that was Michael Alvarado's. Oh, look,
Hey,
there's
Oh,
James.
James and John.
James and John with Robert and Leslie.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Wow. Oh.
Mrs. Green and
Yeah,
Reverend.
Reverend Edna.
You know who the little girl is?
Serena's daughter.
Irina's daughter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Can see
yeah.
it.
Irina Natamak's daughter.
Okay. That's his
There's
mom.
his mom. Yeah.
Mom, right? Yeah.
Pastor Tanya.
Yeah.
Oh, he's right behind her, you can see.
Yes, yes.
What is this?
Yes, Pastor Tanya.
Is Mama Jean?
Yes, yeah. Well, there is Shirley, Pastor Tanya, Robert.
Nice pictures.
Wow.
Christopher.
Christopher.
Good man.
Yes. So many photographs, so many good memories, eh?
Mm.
So many good memories.
Oh, look.
I'm curious of what the oldest ones are. Oh, what's this? The baby in there. Oh. I didn't know we did Halloween at church.
Open mic? Maybe it was open mic.
Mike? Oh, okay.
Open mic, yeah. Years ago when they had open mic, probably it was that.
Nice. What's that? Yeah. Wow. Everybody looks the same.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh,
Oh,
that's their blessing.
Yes, yeah. Freddie and Tina.
Tina and Freddie.
Yeah.
all right, we'll do one more minute. One more minute.
That picture before was back home, Jean.
Yeah. Guyana photograph, members
Yeah.
from Guyana. Yeah.
Oh, that's what that black and white one was?
Yes, yes. Yes, it was in the 70s, I think. In the
Yeah.
70s. Yeah.
A lot of members.
That's
Yeah.
not you.
Yeah, it was a big church in Guyana.
That's not you, is it? Mama Jean?
No, that's Barbara, the leader
Barbara?
of the church who founded the church.
Oh, wow.
Barbara Van Prague. Yeah.
I wonder if we can get this photo. It's kind of, you know,
Yes.
could be. I mean, the resolution is not great on this picture though. I don't know if we can enhance it, but okay.
That's from those afternoon
That was fun.
programs we used to have. You remember?
Yeah,
The afternoon programs we have Sunday afternoon.
yeah, Guru.
Yes.
Yes.
We're gonna have it again tomorrow, right, Pastor Noss? Maybe we can continue with the pictures. If we don't have more,
I could save that spot and just keep going older and older.
yeah.
So many pictures, so keep going. Okay, but that's it for tonight for me.
Thank you, everyone. I'd like to remind you that starting on the 22nd, which is Sunday, is our new devotional period. The prayer points are the same prayer points that we've been praying. We have right in our picture. You know, we're on top of everything. For the special devotional period for victorious entrance into the Chun Il Sanctum in the Chamangas. That's starting Sunday.
May I ask something? There's a 21-day going on. Are we in that 21-day or we have our own 21-day? On morning devotion, they talk about, I think it begins today or something like that. A second 21-day, I thought was everybody in it.
Yes, yeah, we're definitely part of it. I also joined. I had a good experience with the program, very simple things. And I think it's a good way to bring people into the first step. I just shared a link in the chat. There's some resources there you can look at.
But it's not a prayer condition, Amanda.
Oh, it's not a prayer.
No, it's based for witnessing.
That's for witnessing. Yeah, it's so Reverend Dunkley wants to have. It is actually 800.
I thought it was a
100 new
prayer
members.
condition.
No.
Oh, because
it's like a campaign. It's a campaign, a 21-day
oh, okay.
to bring new members, what they call them new friends.
Okay.
But the prayer condition is starting Sunday for 40 days.
Okay.
But that's your own. You know, you could do it for as long as you want.
Okay. Thank you.
And then everything's still going up for Belvedere, Sunday service at Belvedere on Sundays?
Yes. So we'll, again, as you know, we'll start the service at 10:30. Then at 12 p.m. we'll have the Fall Fest. The kids are looking forward to pumpkin carving, apple picking, just being on the property. There's someone to talk to, I'm sure. Yeah, well, I think I'm pretty sure they're going to record the live stream it, but you know what? I have to ask that.
I texted Justin just recently, and he said it might be hard to do live streaming since they're out in the woods.
So that's a negative.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, someone could stream from their phone, just something low tech. But in any case, it's always better to be there if you can make it. But yeah, should be nice.
Reverend Stevens, transportation leaving at 43rd Sunday morning for everybody.
Well, we're not getting a bus, so you'll have to ask, and we can find carpooling. So I'm guessing that's a yes. You wanna ride?
Yes, Reverend Stephen. I would like a ride Sunday morning, and I would like to know the time to get to 43rd or where, either New York or 43rd.
That is the right question. Okay, I put your name down on my list here.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
So if we don't have any other announcements, then we'll begin with our residence prayer with the Abaji Omini.
Chunchaman Residence Prayer, Shijak, Abuji, Omone.
Let's pray.
아버지, 어머님,
And we are opening up this evening with
아버님,
prayer vigil. We have
Good
our
evening,
goals, we
Heavenly
have our prayer
Parent.
goals,
Good
we have our
evening, true
wisdom
parents.
campaign.
we pray
Pray,
for
Parent, that
Heavenly
we will
Parent and true parents,
make our
thank you
best
so much.
efforts to reach out.
Thank you
Your
so much,
kingdom.
Heavenly Parent and true parents. We can
We will invite
together and pray this prayer vigil for our brother who was sent with Robert Hall.
Charles
Heavenly
Lee.
Parent and true parents, please be with him. Help him get a smooth transition to the spirit world.
One day, Heavenly Parent, we will
Heavenly Parent
mobilize
and true parents, help him. Heavenly Parent and true parents,
hearts of all these
help
people.
him, help him.
Have a thriving
Heavenly
community.
Parent and true parents, help him. Heavenly Parent and
People who
true
feel your
parents,
love.
we comfort them and then
So we ask for
help
a
them.
safe,
Heavenly Parent and true parents, we pray for
beautiful
true father in
transition.
the spirit world,
Robert
looking over us,
Paul
helping us.
And I thank you
transcends
for
the
that.
spirit world.
Pray
He
for
will be
true
We
filled
father,
could
with
pray
have
for true father
completed
who
that
with
aspect.
angels,
Jesus,
spread his
who's
wings,
helping us from the
And
spirit
fly,
world.
go anywhere.
thank
Pray,
you
Heavenly
He wants
Parent
to
and
go.
true parents, for all brothers and
We
sisters
also
that
ask that he can even continue to help
we pray
us
for
here.
true mother's long life,
Inspire
good health,
musicians,
energy, and strength
go
at
back
this
to
time.
the
beautiful music.
Heavenly
help
Parent and
them
true parents, we
come
pray for
into
true mother, we
fold.
pray for true mother.
Heavenly Father,
Have
We
a
pray
choir
for
of our
brothers
own.
and sisters.
and bless you.
Pray that
and
we can love
help.
each other, help each other, support each other.
Heavenly
I know
Father,
we're
Lord, let your
very
name
We
humble right
pray
now.
that we can go
let
forth
your
Beginning
will be done on earth
to
as
help
in the
and
shoes
love
of a
and serve
servant.
more and more.
Father.
More
I
people will
As we
pray
find
feel
their
that
way.
and sweat for our blood for heaven at this
for
time.
true
Heavenly
mother
Parent and true parents, we
and
pray for
Father,
true
Lord,
parents.
Tell them to start
We
from
pray for true
be
families.
from
We
able
where
pray
we're
for
at.
true children at this
We will
time.
never
Please
give
be
up.
with
We will
them and
always
help them.
push ourselves more,
Heavenly Parent and true
more
parents,
and
we
more
pray for the
better.
reunification in North and
Here.
South Korea.
thank
Please
you.
help
We'll
North and
identify,
South
yes, this is
Korea
the movement.
unite at this time.
Yes,
Will
we
be
get
Heavenly
from
attacked.
Parent and
Yes, we
true
different
get
parents, we pray
pummeled
for
forms,
again and
witness
again
to
over the years.
young people that they can
joining of
Heavenly Parent and true
Way, but
parents.
God,
Heavenly
we're still
Parent and
here.
true parents, we
North
pray for the
and
As
crisis
South,
long as we're
affecting
still
our
here, we
world
will
at this
never
time.
stop fighting
North,
now
We
until the
pray,
very
Heavenly
end.
Parent and true
Heaven's
parents,
honest.
for the
The
and
truth is
people to
revealed
be
to all
watching
people,
the
and everyone
crazy
will
crisis.
see
let
that
your
We pray for
God
the
is the only
that
God.
will
war between Hamas and
I
People
Israel.
pray
know
too that
We pray
you
those
are
who
alive.
for NATO,
You're not
for
outdated,
America,
truly be
irrelevant.
stand as
No, Heavenly
every
Parent, you're
nation to help
strength,
for
merciful.
NATO allies.
Comes
We
into
pray,
the
Heavenly
depth of
Parent
our
and true
soul,
parents,
grow forward
for all
quenches
together.
our
brothers and
thirst, gives
sisters.
us
We pray that we
And
can
Father, I pray
love
for
each other,
air
help
to
each
breathe.
other, serve each other, give each other.
Parents, so
We
now we're
pray that we can
fast,
go
praying
forth in the
specifically for these
shoes of a
for
servant, shedding
the
Lord,
safety of your
tears from
parents
our
and
there
eyes,
can
families.
be
our
no
blood for
Towards
fear,
heaven.
entrance to the channel of
and
sanctity.
everybody can
Every
be
parent and true
what they
parents, we
have
People,
pray for
especially young
brothers and
people, for
sisters.
we
real church
also
efforts.
ask
We
Lord,
pray that
Unification
we
of North
can
and
love
South
each other,
Korea, a
help
help
heavenly
each
us
other,
unified
to
serve
Korea.
each other, give
pray
each
The
other.
song of Christ is
help
We
affecting our
pray that
most
we
the
can go
younger
forth
heavenly
in the
nation.
shoes of
generation
a servant, shedding tears
prepared and
from
to
our
See
blood
receive
you
for
too,
heaven.
those couples in Korea.
We pray,
to
Heavenly Parent
develop
First,
and
the
true
second, third
love
parents,
generation.
for
in their
Reverend
heart
Damien Dunkley and his
to
family at
give
this
them
time,
the
that we
peace
can unite with
and
him and
to
help
give
our true
them
Gen,
mother.
second,
We
single
pray,
couple.
respect.
Heavenly Parent and true parents, for our
Eight,
Heavenly
leaders,
Father,
second gen
that
Lord,
already
we
married
can
pray
couples,
unite
that
with
going
them,
through already married
that they help
couples.
our true
too
mother.
much
We pray to
New
help
division
true
members
mother
to
this
attend in
time,
Korea.
Heavenly Parent and true parents. We pray for
different.
Sean
Be
Von Young,
revived and
the entrance to the Sean Von Young.
I
We
come
pray
pray,
back
Father
to
that
New
he
God,
can
York and be so
that
revived.
donate the $10
Continue
million
on.
from
and they
America.
can go home to their
Raise
Heavenly Parent and true
$250,000 for
parents,
the
we
children to
pray.
go.
lovingly go
Heavenly Parent and true
Once
parents, we
we
pray. Heavenly
whatever
Parent
it
and true
is
meet these
parents, help us
goals,
will
necessary.
at this time to
proud,
bring
Father
the
God,
victory.
please
Tell this our nation,
we
America,
be able
make
to
stand up
so
for
fulfill our
that
responsibility during this critical
I
time.
Heavenly Parent and true parents, we pray that we
and
can
help
so that
others.
we can bring victory.
Heavenly
We
Father,
pray, Heavenly Parent and true parents, for our
guide
brothers
Continue
and sisters.
Father
to
Please
God
further
hear our
push our
prayers
way
and
all
help
the
us,
way,
Heavenly Parent and true parents, help us.
sprint to the finish where mother
with
To
stands.
bring the victory, help us to love each other, help us to unite
While mother's still alive, let her see the
with
kingdom.
the
overcome all
Shanshimon
the
that true mother
There's
gave to
nothing to
us,
worry
Heavenly
situation
about.
Parent,
in
true
our
parents, we
world
pray.
today,
Huge
Heavenly
on
Parent and true
protection and grace.
No one more
May
husband
there
and
be
family.
peace, and
We
may
pray
that
for
war
Damon.
not
Really be
escalate,
able
Pray
to
my
especially
brother, we
now
pray for those
with
in
what is
MFC,
going
Shetland,
on.
one young and
And
one long.
also, Father God,
내 맘 기뻐 찬양합니다. 이 소망의 터널 전시원 안에서 부모님께 기도합니다. 부모님 주신 모든 은혜 이루 말할 수 없네. 내 마음 즐거이 뜻따르렵니다. 부모님 사랑합니다. 부모님 사랑 안에서 내 맘 기뻐 찬양합니다. 이 소망의 터널 전시원 안에서 부모님께 기도합니다. 부모님 주신 모든 은혜 이루 말할 수 없네. 내 마음 즐거이 따르렵니다. 부모님 사랑합니다. 부모님 주신 모든 은혜 이루 말할 수 없네. 내 마음 즐거이 뜻따르렵니다. 부모님 사랑합니다. 부모님 주신 모든 은혜 이루 말할 수 없네. 내 마음 즐거이 뜻따르렵니다. 부모님 사랑합니다. 부모님 사랑합니다.
Brothers and sisters, I'm so sorry, but I forgot to mention about the prayer chain. An email was sent out tonight. Plus, it's also on the messenger chat, the prayer chain. There's still empty slots up until Wednesday, 10 o'clock in the morning. So please sign up for the prayer chain if you haven't already. So thank you so much for tonight. It was really wonderful, Pastor Mel, and all the beautiful pictures. And tomorrow we'll continue. We'll continue with testimonies and pictures. So God bless you, everyone. Have a wonderful night. Remember, True Father's here. God bless you. Good night. Ciao, ciao.